Hey everyone, this is Erik Douds here, and I just wanted to dive into exactly what is in my handlebar bag, which is a little bit different than other people's because it's always set up for filmmaking, but going on extreme bike touring trips such as Alaska or the Transamerica or this current trip which is LA out to Santa Fe. So with that, I will dive into what's in here and then also why I have a Camelback with me as well.
I'm flying over the ocean, wondering if I'll ever make it home.
Doo-doo-doo. Come on car, let's move on by. Alright, now I've already been through two handlebar bags. One was my dad's when I did the Transamerica Trail, and by the time I reached the West Coast, that thing disintegrated. And then on my last trip up in Alaska, I used a Banjo Brothers bag, which would be good for commuting, but I ended up with this Arcadia bag after this moment. There is a phrase that was repeated to Annalise and I over and over again, and that's Alaskans look out for each other. So here I was trying to cut this small frayed wire when Dave and Derek with their families pulled over to lend a helping hand. Now this is Arkel's largest handlebar bag, and that is one of the reasons I absolutely love it, but this thing is more of a bucket. Because within here is my camera. This is where my DSLR will sit with the Rode video mic, Rode video mic on top of it. Now, it's insanely helpful for me to have my camera right between my handlebar bags when I'm biking around, because if there's something I see I can turn and take a photograph, or if there's a person or a moment, that's how I'm able to get it so quickly. And a key component of being able to do that is one, using a Peak design camera strap around. I always keep this attached to my camera because one way I stabilize a lot of my video footage is using the camera strap and my elbows close in to get a stable shot as someone like Annalisa bikes by. Now, it's also super handy because the strap clips unclick super easily, so if I don't want the strap there, I can easily remove it and put it back on. Something else I'll use is this Manfrotto tripod. Having a little tripod to get stable shots, to get photos of myself, so a lot of times I'll put the camera on a tripod, set up what I want the photo to look like, and use a 20-second timer with 5 exposures. And that's usually how I get photos of myself if Annalisa's not around or we just need to use this camera for some reason. In my actual dry bag, this is the Sea to Summit dry bag, is another lens. This is the 10 through 22 Nikon that I use for most of my wide angle shots. And I always just give my electronics, especially camera gear, a little bit more waterproof protection. And I think an important thing to consider when you're touring is that one, you'll get caught in a rain, but two, there's also a ton of dew all the time. The storm cleared, and I'm not sure if you guys are gonna be able to see it, but there's a rainbow over the valley here, which is just absolutely stunning. So, you know, you go through the hard times and then instant reward. So, still so stunning out here. So that's the main component. So let's talk about the sides and front. All right, on the sides is one of my favorite fork, which I got at a Walmart before the Transamerica Trail ever started, and has somehow put almost 10,000 miles on the trail with me. I can't believe I haven't lost this. And a small little tip is that there is duct tape around the actual utensil in case I ever need it. With that is also kind of random electrolytes, just because I was kind of going up 5,000 feet of elevation today. Some electrolytes help, but this can be other snacks, and that's usually what I use this other side for. It's the end of the day, so I don't have snacks, but some of my recommendations off my head are dates, raisins, or some granola.
Erik, what have you concocted?
I think we're calling it trail cookie dough, but we have peanut butter, rolled oats, and honey all in one. A nice balance of high fat and high carb. One, to treat my low, but two, to keep me fueled for the day. But let me know, what would you put in this packet right here? It used to be peanut butter for me, but I'm trying to ease off of it for this trip. I only wanted this shot for this amazing set of pine cones that happen to be here, and the sun is slowly setting, so hopefully I got it. There are 3 things in my front pannier kind of pocket. The first is simple, it's just a little electrical tape or gaff tape. This is just useful to use in your everyday. You want to stick something somewhere, you need to fix a little thing, you need to patch it up, you got it. That's why you carry tape. And then on top of that, I know I have a fork, but on the other side is a little Swiss Army knife. So that's just a simple, easy one. It's always good having a knife on you. But kind of the most important thing that I added for this trip specifically is this little camera pack. And there's so much in here. Alright, if you've been out in the field and you're a filmmaker, a few of these moments might have happened to you. 1, a camera battery dies. 2, you need an SD card because it's filled up. Or 3, you kind of need a light, and that's why I made this camera kit for this trip. So in here, and it's funny, so I'm telling people I'm a type 1 diabetic all the time. That's kind of what the story we balance. This is actually a type 1 diabetes case for a blood glucose meter. In here what you'll see is the lens cap for my wider angle lens that I'm not currently using, but it happens to be here. And then on one side is all of my V9 batteries. I'll catch these. V9 batteries for my mic. I was afraid for this trip of running out of a battery and then not being able to find it in a store. So I figured 4 is good enough and I could always ship one out. And then I have my SD card here right as well. Then on the other side is 2 Nikon batteries, so in total I have 3. The way I actually charge these in the wilderness, which I want to make more of a video about, is to use this really cheap Amazon charger that actually plugs into USB, which I can use my external charger for to keep these alive overnight, which is great. And then on top of that is the key to my bike. It looks like it's caught in the webbing a little bit. What's really nice is that I got this on my trip right outside of California in Ojai. There is a street called Topa Topa. Like over the summer, I'm always talking about the kindness of strangers, and here's one example of someone that hosts us, has a beautiful home, awesome roommates, and just want to thank her and show you guys what is possible. So, house tour. And she happened to make those. And then here's a little aperture Amarin light. This thing is great because if you just need anything lit up just a little bit, almost like my face right now, you know, it's like here you can have this on the road, you can put a little piece of paper or anything on there and light yourself up. And this also, like everything, uses USB to charge. That's really, really important because then I can charge it on my external battery pack. So that's what's in here, that's what's in my handlebar bag. And let me tell you why I actually can't travel around with a Camelback as well. I promise things are kind of more organized than this, but not always. Alright, the real reason I wear a Camelback is just because this camera gear takes so much space up in my handlebar bag that I have to keep my snacks and other things to manage my diabetes in this bag, and I honestly don't mind it. It makes my riding makes my back a little bit sweatier, but besides that, it's really no big deal. But let me know, what do you guys keep in your handlebar bags? Is there kind of something that you've learned along the ways to help make everything a little bit easier? And then if this was useful at all, leave a little bike comment, lead where you're riding, lead what maybe state park you've loved staying in, since I'm in a state park right now. And if there's anything else you'd like me to cover about bike touring or filmmaking or anything like that, let me know and I'd be happy to make a video. So with that, remember you can go anywhere, do anything.